Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast on a Tuesday. It's one of those weeks where it's easy to forget what day it is. The Bears are on a short week, so we're going to cram Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all into one day. Right now, Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Rags Jr. with you on the show as the Bears getting ready to face the Panthers. Coordinators talking at Hallis Hall today. We'll jump in with some of that and any news we can figure out from Hallis Hall. But because it's a Tuesday and a Wednesday at the same time, we're going to bring in Baldy, who's usually here at Wednesday at noon, to jump on with us.
That's right.
That's right, on a Tuesday.
I go full double arm enthusiasm for Baldy. I get so excited. So it's a great – Baldy, we were just joking before you came on, but I wanted to give you props because you found the one play that Montez Sweat made on Sunday when he came from all the way from one side to the other and chased down Taysom Hill. That's the guy that Brian Poles targeted, and he did make a play on Sunday despite a lot of people who think that he just didn't play at all. So there we go. There was something out there.
Yeah, there was a play. I mean, it'd be better if he was hitting Derek Carr and the ball was bouncing loose on the carpet there. But, that's a play that is an effort play, and not everybody plays that type of effort. So, we'll give him a positive and we'll give him a pass on game one.
So, look, there's definitely some truth to the idea that of all the positions that you could possibly change teams in 1 week, pass rusher's probably on the easier side.
Definitely.
And then there's Josh Dobbs, who apparently can just do it at quarterback and without even knowing his teammates' names or any of the calls. That was pretty damn impressive. Maybe we'll get to that a little bit too. But still, can you give us some idea? He's still got to be – Montez Sweat's got to be on there on the field on Sunday, not knowing all the calls. Not yes, go get quarterback, but, you still got to know what type of defense you're in, sort of.
I imagine there's look, he'd been in Washington for 4 or 5 years. So a call comes in, you don't have to think. You just have to react. Call comes in on Sunday, and he's probably really the terminology can be different place to place, but the assignment could be the same. And so he might be just transferring what they called it in Washington with Jack Del Rio and now what they call it, in Chicago. So there might be a hesitancy there just in the initial call. But, if it's 3rd and 6, it's 3rd and 6. I don't care what scheme you're in. Get to the quarterback. That's the Bears used to have guys that, did that regularly week in, week out. So, yeah, it's not – that part isn't that difficult.
Baldy, I don't think that the signing of Tremaine Edmunds was a bad one because I think Tremaine Edmunds is a good player, but I can start to hear the argument out that they didn't need him because Jack Sanborn can do that role and they wouldn't have had to spend that money.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I mean, look, just go to Wisconsin and find your linebackers. Just go find Sanborn and Edwards, and they'll make every tackle that's out there like they did. I don't know how many tackles they had together, 24, 25 tackles. I was a believer in Sanborn last year. I'm like, you can do it a couple different ways. Look, Roquan went to Baltimore, changed the whole franchise. In literally one day, became the leader of the defense. He spoke up, everybody listened, and they're the number one defense in football, and he's a big part of it. But if you don't want to pay that type of money and you want to put into other resources, the Eagles have that philosophy, and they've won a lot of games with that philosophy. So it can change place to place. But, yes, I just thought they overspent at that position. You could have just taken all that money, just given it to Roquan, and just had your quarterback for the next 10 years on defense. But Sanborn and Edwards looked just fine at that position last week.
Are you still here? Because I thought you were going to walk off the set when he said that. That was an emotional moment for you. It should have been, because that was your take, and Baldy just underlined it for you.
Well, we talked about this a few weeks ago with Baldy. Like, it's going to forever. I said this on our post-game show the other day, Baldy. Like, like Roquan's. Wait, what did I say? No, I said Sanborn. I said if Sanborn for some reason, like, look, Sanborn's good, but he's not going to go to like Pro Football Hall of Fame, right? But if he did, if Sanborn was getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's this great day in Canton, the sun's out, and all Bears fans are celebrating, I will still be standing there with like an empty spot in my heart because they never played him next to Roquan Smith. Like, that'll still bother me on the day he's being inducted.
You know what's interesting about that? Like, I do this thing with the Jets, and I do it with Bart Scott. And Bart Scott played next to Ray Lewis. So Baltimore has always had the guy next to the star. C.J. Mosley had his guy. You know, now Patrick Queen happens to be there, but he won't be there next year because they won't pay both guys. But you need, like, the guy that rides shotgun for you. And I feel like if Roquan was there with Sanborn, like, they'd have that inside linebacker position covered. They just would. Or if T.J. Edwards was there, because T.J. was that guy in Philadelphia. He made every tackle every Sunday, never came off the field, played every week. He's just a good football player. Like, I know other GMs and other teams that said if T.J. Edwards ever became available, I'd scoop him up in a second. Like, that's what we needed, that position. Guy that's just a vacuum cleaner, going to clean up, make all the tackles he's supposed to make. Is he going to knock the ball loose and jar guys the way, say, Urlacher did? Probably not, but he's going to get the job done.
It's interesting, too, when you think about that component of it. And TJ's been a very good player for the Bears already, 15 tackles last week. But, like, you didn't need that either. You could have had Roquan, you could have had Jack doing that, but instead you pushed him further down the list. Anyway, forget about all that for just 1 second. Baldy, and maybe Matt Eberflus is kidding, although I don't think he is. He's saying after the game Monday, we're close. We're right there. If we hadn't turned it over 5 times, if we've, we're now, he didn't use these words, but last week we're 2-2 in our last 4. Now he's 2-3 in his last 5. Do you think, looking at the Bears, that they're quote unquote close?
No, because they don't. No, I don't. And I'm not saying that Matt Eberflus looks at the game the way he looks at the game. Like, it's his view of it. But I'm looking at, like, I think the NFC in general is a bunch of frauds. Like, I saw the Ravens last week play. They just look like they play differently than Seattle. They play differently than Detroit. Detroit went to Baltimore a couple weeks ago. They scored 3 points. They got hammered in every part of the field. So did Seattle. And, you look at San Francisco against Cincinnati, and you look at some of these defenses that are out there. Like, I don't know who's going to beat Kansas City in that defense. Like, Miami couldn't do anything against them. Like, some of these defenses are just so good. I don't care what your offensive stats are, because none of them are producing stats against some of these elite defenses right now. And so if Matt says we're close, I don't know. I saw Taysom Hill. Like, all right, Taysom Hill did whatever he wanted to do against that defense last week.
So there are some underlying numbers that suggest that the Bears, especially on offense, are doing at least what you're supposed to do, which is move the sticks, right?
Yeah.
So they actually ranked 11th right now in getting either a touchdown or a first down on a drive. Okay, like, you want to at least move the sticks, right? Now, the thing that really seems to be holding them back are, penalties, right? So, like, even Sunday's game, like, the Saints have a good defense. They moved the ball. They moved the ball. Tyson Bagent moved the ball.
Look, the first 3 quarters, I mean, they had 2 penalties at halftime. They had 14 points. You missed a field goal, a chip shot field goal. I mean, they should have had 17 on the board. DJ Moore has the ball in his hands in the third quarter in the second play. They're driving already, and he gets the ball punched out. DJ Moore has hit both hands on the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, and he doesn't come down with it. Like, they moved the ball. Tyson, look, you can bash Bagent for the turnovers. The first interception to Cole Kmet, all right. It's his own defense. I think Kmet actually should have come back to the ball, and it wouldn't have been intercepted rather than just sit there in the hole in a zone where Debo is just attacking the ball. Like, I would have put that more on the tight end than the quarterback. Quarterback's giving you a chance to go make that play. Make the play. Now, he made a couple great touchdown catches, which is nice, but I think they could have helped the quarterback out. I thought he played pretty good. for the most part.
And Cole actually said that after the game too, so I think he agrees with you on that. The problem though is, so 71% of the drives they at least get a first down. 11% of their drives right now they're turning the ball over. Like you can't win football games like that. The San Francisco 49ers, they're at 4%. Okay, like that's a huge difference. And so you can move the ball all you want, but if the drive's ending in a turnover,
look, it's the number one stat in football for wins and losses is the turnover margin. But here's the thing about it. Like I don't know what quarterback is playing this week, but I understand they got to cut down the turnovers at the quarterback position, whether it's the fumbles or the interceptions. I know that. I remember Aaron Rodgers used to have a stat. I know you don't want to hear about Aaron Rodgers in Chicago, but he tried to keep his interceptions and fumbles to a single digit during the course of a season. Now, both quarterbacks are right on the verge of double digits right now, splitting duties here. So it's too many. But what I don't want is the quarterback to go into a shell and not be aggressive. Like, I think you have to be aggressive with the ball. There's things that you can do to mitigate the takeaways of the turnovers. But at the same time, like, you just can't dink and dunk and make safe throws. Like, you got to attack at some point also.
I mean, the breakdown last week was they picked up 250 yards in the first half. They had drives of 9 and 7 and 6 and 13 plays. Second half was 118 yards, so not even less than half. And the
penalties, they had a lot of penalties in the second half. They had 6 penalties in the second half. So they started getting behind the sticks. And, those third downs got a lot longer, so that was a big part of it.
I just wanted on the record that I did not bring up Tyson Bagent to Baldy, and Baldy said good things about him, and I had nothing to do with it, didn't even lead into it. That's what he said. So I want that on the record to you in the chat. People are like, can't wait for Carman to bring up Bagent. I just, your understanding of, he looks great for 3 quarters, looks very good, whatever you want to put it, has the interception to Kmet, versus the fourth quarter. Some people are saying that the Saints moved to man and that he had to hit tight windows and he wasn't able to do it. I'm wondering also,
like they play man coverage. That's what they do. That trio of Lattimore and Alante Taylor and Adebo. I mean, I don't know if any defense, honestly, in the league has defended more passes than the Saints. I don't have that stat in front of me, but I just watch them every week. Like, those guys feast off man coverage. And, it's up to the receivers to win, in man coverage and to separate. And, the touchdowns to Cole Kmet, they were great throws and he made great catches. And receivers got to help you out a bunch too.
I kind of want to reverse this back to the defense because I'm curious your thoughts about this. You talked about Montez Sweat coming in, and you've talked a lot here on these shows about generating a pass rush. But dating back to 2018 with Matt Eberflus's defenses, even under the Colts, I want to kind of run through some stats with you. 38 sacks as a team for the Colts, ranking 28th in 2018. 41 sacks, ranking 16th in 2019. In 2020, when they added DeForest Buckner, they had 40 sacks, ranking 13th. Then back up to ranking 25th with 33 sacks in 2021. These last 2 years, they only had 19 sacks with the Bears last year. And now they're on pace for 20 sacks this year. It just seems to me that while we all want to pass rush and get sacks, the stats show that Matt Eberflus's defenses don't generate them. So is the Tampa 2, Corey Wooten loves the Tampa 2. We talk to him every Monday, but is the Tampa 2 not something that's sustainable in the NFL as a base defense?
There's places for the Tampa 2. I was talking to Rod Woodson. I was doing the Ravens game against Seattle on Sunday, and Rod does the voice of the Ravens. And he was like, there's too much man coverage in this league. There's too much. Like, just sit there in your cover 2 zone and just keep everything in front of you. You got all your zones covered. Like, there's only so many places they can go with the ball and just attack. Just like what we call like spot drop and get to the spots and just plaster these receivers. And I kind of think there's a truth to that. Tampa 2, there's too much of a hole in the middle of the field. But there is really only one place that you can attack that offensively. And if you can defend that the way Urlacher did, down the middle of the field to your tight end, number 3 receiver, you can limit a lot of those throws. But it does help you on all the hole shots on the outside and some of the deep corner shots. Like, you take a lot of that away, and you funnel everything to the middle of the field, which is where you want. So I think there's something to that. The one thing about what I would say about Eberflus is, like, I understand the sacks in Indianapolis, but I know for a fact they were top 10 defense. Like, they took the ball away. I mean, you look at what Shaq Leonard did. Nobody took the ball away more than Shaq at middle linebacker. You look at Kenny Moore and some of the players that made plays in that defense. They made those interceptions in those plays because they were in zone, and all eyes were on the ball. So any tip ball, man, you got a much better chance of going to get that ball if it's tipped in the middle of the field. Now, that's part of the pass rush, is getting the hands up and tipping those balls in the middle of the field, where if you're in zone, you better go get it. You better be flying to go get it. It's your ball. So, I remember even Lovie Smith back in those days. I mean, there were contact points in zone defenses that forced the ball to get popped up and to get hit. During Seattle's run with the Legion of Boom, one year they led the league in interceptions, and I went and watched them. Like, half of their interceptions were off tip balls, and they were in a cover 3 shell for the most part. So there's you can battle this thing back and forth, but ultimately they need a better pass rush period. And if they're going to play a 4-man front, there's a reason why they went and overpaid for DeForest Buckner. They didn't have that position in Indianapolis, and he's an elite 3-technique player. And the Bears don't have that right now.
Right. So it's essentially not so much about the sack totals, but it's about a pass rush to generate the turnovers that a hits philosophy will get you.
Yes. Part of it, yes.
Well,
but look, I mean, the Ravens are number 1 defense in football. They've got 35 sacks. They hired Chuck Smith to be their pass rush specialist coach. Like, all of a sudden, you're looking at Justin Madubuike, who was, a 3rd-round pick a couple years ago. He leads all interior defense linemen in sacks. You look at Jadeveon Clowney, he's playing better than he has at any point in the last 5 years. I mean, they're becoming a much better pass rush team.
So, like, if I had to guess, like, trying to get inside Matt Eberflus's brain right now, the reason why he's trying to make the argument that they're close is, like, you look at defensively, they're getting off the field on 3rd down better than they were earlier in the season. That 4th quarter, like, the Saints should have blown that thing away with the amount the Bears were turning the ball over, and the defense kept giving the ball back to the offense. They're not getting home.
Their run defense is good, too.
The run defense has gotten a lot better from last year, but they're not getting home on the quarterback, and they're not getting takeaways, right? And then on offense, okay, we're moving the chains, but then penalties and turnovers. So it's like, if you could just clean up basically the takeaways thing, but that's what every team's trying to do. And just because you could say, like, okay, we're doing this and this, like, at the end of the day, you need playmakers that are going to make those plays and not commit the mistakes. And that's where I still feel like they're lacking. Is that fair, Baldy?
Yeah, that's all fair. Like, look, you got Carolina coming to town in 2 days. You can get a lot healthier against Carolina. They have literally one legitimate receiving threat. So if you want to put Jaylon Johnson on him right now and just go Adam Thielen and Johnson, try to take him away. I don't know where Bryce Young's going to throw the ball if he doesn't throw it to Thielen. Like, he's got Jonathan Mingo's got a couple guys, but you could get real healthy against Carolina. You can win 3 of your last 6. And, you could probably next week at this time say Matt Eberflus was right. Look at what we're doing. Look at all of our numbers, how they're improving, all that stuff. I mean, okay. But, that's going to translate to wins. So, that's where they're at right now.
What have you seen from Bryce Young so far? How much are they regretting not taking C.J. Stroud after what Stroud's been doing?
Well, I mean, if you just looked at last week, I mean, C.J. Stroud throws for 475 yards and 5 touchdowns and took the team the length of the field in 46 seconds to win the game. Bryce Young threw 2 pick sixes to Kenny Moore. I mean, and they were bad throws. They were late. They were to the outside. They didn't have a chance to, like, tackle the catch. I mean, Kenny Moore is dancing in the end zone. It's night and day difference between the 2 quarterbacks.
So did the Bears blow it on C.J. Stroud, Baldy?
Well, it's, look, it's hindsight. The guy has been phenomenal. And you know what's interesting about great quarterbacks? And I'm putting him in that category right now because he's thrown 14 touchdowns in 1 interception. And he's brought him back from behind a couple of games. But what's interesting is always look at the receiving core before and after the quarterback. For example, like Nico Collins is their number 1 leading receiver right now. And he leads all receivers in yards per reception. And Nico Collins was just a guy for 2 years. I mean, just a guy. Never, I can't remember one game-changing play that he made. Now he's their go-to guy because they got a quarterback that knows how to get him the ball. And they got a system that really understands the pecking order in receivers. Tank Dell got his role. Noah Brown last week had his role. Dalton Schultz was an amazing pickup at tight end. So they've got all the receiver spots covered. Now they have a quarterback that just reads progressions. And when he throws a football, you're like, that is how you throw a football. Like, it's the eye test.
Baldy, when you were playing, what would your reaction have been if the NFL schedule makers told you had 2 Thursday games, 2 short weeks in a 6-week period?
Ooh, I would say they're trying to, they've got something against us. That's just not fair. It's just really not fair. Like, that's impossible. It's hard enough. I remember when I played in Dallas, we always played on Thanksgiving. So we were the only, us in Detroit, were the only team every year. We kind of liked it, but we built that entire week around the 2 games in 4 days. We had our schedule, we had our system, and then we had basically a mini bye that we really liked going into the stretch run. But to do 2 of those in 6 weeks, I mean, it's beyond a tall order. It's just not fair.
Yeah, Cole Kmet has told us that he likes it too, for the reason you said, get through the game quick, then you get 10-day layover to rest.
They also
don't
have to practice this week.
Right, don't have to practice. Then
they're practicing tomorrow.
Well, it's like light Friday.
Our practice was we just went into a cold pool or into the sauna. Like, we just, it was fun. We just had a holiday spa thing. Like, that was kind of fun.
Well, and I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't mind, playing on Thanksgiving anyway, because Thanksgiving food is terrible, but that's just one man's opinion. Yeah, I said it.
What?
I said it. What? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Meal of the entire year.
No, sir. No, sir. I'll take a prime rib over a turkey any day.
You can't cook doesn't mean you have to make some grand statement about Thanksgiving.
It's too mushy. The food's too soft, too mushy.
Okay. That will be discussed in depth at some point. But before Baldy goes, you can't really answer this, but I want to ask the question because
I think he wants to comment on Thanksgiving.
Well, you comment on that too. Dallas, Indy, the Eagles. You never played on a team, Baldy. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was 2-7. I'm just curious. What do you think? 1 year.
1 year I was 1-15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. I missed that year. So great. What is going on in that locker room right now when you got the coach up there saying we're close, you got short weeks going on, you got trade deadlines, you got the new guy coming in who's been here 5 seconds, he gets the huge contract.
Coach is getting fired every other week.
Coach is getting fired every other week. The Bears are talking about they have this great culture, yet they don't ever win. They've lost 17 of their last 19. I'm just trying to understand, do you think these guys are, what's happening in there?
Here's the fact. You get sick of losing. It's just a sickening feeling. Like, there's no good feeling. There's no Victory Monday. There's no Thursday night parties. There's no, the camaraderie stinks. Like, everybody's going, it's nothing is worse than losing. Nothing. Nobody's smiling. The secretaries ain't smiling. Like, nobody looks good. It's horrible. It's just a horrible feeling. And if it just keeps up, honestly, there's some guys that check out a lot earlier than other guys. Some guys, okay, it's pro. This is what we do. We prepare the same every week. Some guys have that mentality, but a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys are just they go to these games and they honestly just wait for the wheels to come off. And and they're walking off the field and they're just basically saying to themselves, or they might be saying it out loud, here we go again. That's just the reality.
Well,
I thought we'd end on a positive there because it's just but they're in a tough spot, man.
I think we've buried the lead here. I have to know what's going on with your shirt here, Baldy. You got
That's a Hula Bowl shirt.
That's a what?
That's a Hula Bowl shirt right there.
Hula Bowl, baby.
Okay. Hula Bowl every year. Okay. Yeah, no, this is
it looked like Hawaii. It looked like that early '90s Bears uniform I seen Tom Waddle in.
All right, well, Waddle might have played in the Hula Bowl. He's over there in Hawaii half the year. We're not Tom, but Thayer's over there half the year.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yes. This is in Hawaii. This is wardrobe gold in Hawaii. This particular brand of shirt. You can't find a higher brand or a more coveted shirt in Hawaii than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you look great. I don't know what Braggs is talking about.
I put this on this morning. I was like all smiles at 5:30 this morning. I was ready to go.
Just get you ready to go. Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was in Hawaii right now.
I mean, we could all, especially Bears fans, I think.
Maybe after this Thursday night game, you'll have like a little mini bye to Hawaii.
Just go to Hawaii. I love it. Baldy, we've been listening to the All NFL show. Great stuff so far. Love it. Awesome having you part of the family. Make sure, to our listeners, if you haven't checked it out yet, go subscribe to the All NFL show. Baldy and Anthony Gargano every single day. It's great stuff. All the NFL coverage around the league. So thanks so much, Baldy.
Take care, guys. All right. Talk to you next week.
All right, there he is. Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL. Seriously, go check it out. I mean, I got to listen to national podcasts to kind of keep up to speed with everything I miss around the league on Sundays, and that's a great way to go. And they launched that last week, so go check it out, the All NFL show. Also, if you're in need of flooring, carpeting, really anything for your house, you got to check out Empire Today.
Bang!
Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low-price guarantee. What I love about Empire is, they're all about quality. They're not trying to lie to you. They're not going to give you the lowest price, because the lowest price, they're putting flooring in your house that they wouldn't put it in their own house.
They're not going to come out, be on a job, be tweeting and talking about the Bears and
how
smoking
Thanksgiving
and drinking
sucks.
and just doing a bad job and then like leaving the industry to go become a podcaster. They're there to win.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
Well, okay.
You.
I picked up on it. No. That's not how Braggs did his brick lane. That's not how Empire Today does their work. They're the best place to get new flooring. They're copycats out there, and they're going to try to be cheap about it, not Empire. They're going to do the best job. They have this awesome thing called their virtual floor designer. It's hard to figure out how floors will look in your house. They do the best they can to show you what flooring will look like in your space. Snap a picture, instantly see how new floors will look in your room. And Empire prides themselves on convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors so they can see exactly what their new floors will look like in their homes. Also, they service their own warranties, which is great. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details.
I think that was our cue, Braggs. We were supposed to say CHGO.
Yeah.
Bad
I don't
job.
follow cues. And I also don't follow rules.
He does follow his macros, though.
I do follow my macros.
I'm not talking to Braggs for 3 days.
And I don't follow rules
take.
because Lawrence told me that I'm not good at transitions. So I will continue to not listen to him by saying, while you're laying on your Empire carpet, you put your table down, put some Hero Bread on the table. See? Was that good?
That was great.
That was great.
How about you put the Hero Bread in your mouth?
You can put the Hero Bread in your mouth, but first you got to set it on the table.
Lay on the
Lighting
carpet
is
and
always
eat Hero
good
Bread.
too, to make elevate your food experience. And Hero Bread's trying to elevate your food experience, and we appreciate them joining up with us. To me, the bread is soft and fluffy. You can use this bread. It's scrumptious. You can use this bread to make your stuffing for your crappy Thanksgiving meal. Now, you guys want to hate on me about my Thanksgiving take. My mom does a great job making Thanksgiving, and most people would enjoy her Thanksgiving cooking, and especially if they were using Hero Bread, because the high fiber and ultra low net carbs, 0 sugar per slice, these are the things that help you, get a great meal, tasty meal, but, watch those macros, as I try to always tell you guys. Use CHGO for 10% off at hero.co. Hero makes sliced breads, buns, and tortillas, so it's not just, you can use it in different ways. Available on hero.co and Amazon. Fewer calories than the leading national brand, 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Right now, Hero Bread is offering the CHGO fam 10% off their first order. I can feel these guys chomping at the bit to go after me for Thanksgiving. Just go to hero.co and use our code CHGO to save on Hero Bread today. That's HERO.co to save 10% today.
I'm not going to jump on you for anything. What I was going to comment on, in the history of us doing this show, I have not seen more compliments about anything any of us have ever worn than what you're getting right now for that extremely basic Cubs.
Well, us Cubs fans are fired up right now. This is a nice zip-up. It's not.
It's a zip-up. Everyone's calling it a hoodie. It's not a hoodie.
It's a zip-up.
And it's literally red.
It's got a sweet World Series patch right there.
It's red with a Cubs logo on it. What is so cool about it?
It's cool. The logo's cool. I got some really good Cubs gear at home.
I like it. It's a good look.
And that was cool to watch you guys, yesterday during the show, break the news.
It's
it
cool
was
because
great
he's
to
wearing
watch
it.
the CHGO Cubs team do a breaking news show. It's going to be an exciting offseason where
What a front runner this guy is.
Not a front runner. Are you kidding me? I'm a Chicago sports fan.
All of a
There's
sudden, the
no
Cubs-
front running going on in this city.
Guy could not have been more miserable on Sunday. Now, Cubs got correct counsel. Purdue wins one basketball game. Congrats on your first win since
We're not counting
March.
the exhibition win.
Who's your college football team?
Notre Dame football.
Who's your college basketball team?
What does that have to do with anything? I didn't go to college, so I can pick whatever teams I want to root for.
You picked a front
What
running.
school did you go to, Carm?
Yeah, you're the wrong person to be.
What school
have
did you go
7
to?
different schools.
I root for the Northwestern Wildcats.
But you
I
have-
have every right
You
to say
didn't
what
root
I'm
for
Yeah,
saying.
you do,
Iowa?
you do.
You didn't
Okay,
root for
then.
Iowa when you were at Iowa? Be quiet,
I
old
went-
man.
That's got nothing. When Northwestern
Also,
played
Iowa sucks too.
When Northwestern played Iowa, I rooted for Northwestern when I was a student at Iowa. Just so you know, you front running football Notre Dame picking, basketball Purdue picking front runner.
Not front runner. Notre Dame has never won shit in my lifetime. Purdue's never won shit.
Yeah, they're some
The
bad.
Cubs, it took them all the way until 2016 in my life to win something. The Bears have never won shit in my lifetime.
You're a front
The
runner.
only team,
You're the biggest front
the
runner.
Bulls
on the show.
are the only one that gave me happiness, and I've been waiting since 1998.
Came right out of the
for
womb,
that.
and you're like diehard Bulls guy. Oh, that was a tough road
Cody
for you.
here. Cody
I'm
here.
not grumpy. I'm sorry, guys. What Cody here? $9.99 super chat. Bragg's ad
gonna be
reading
Tony
is as bad
Reality
as
and have
his
a mute
Thanksgiving
button.
take. My ad reading has been phenomenal this year. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, guys. You just don't want the hard truth about Thanksgiving. There's a reason that you only eat Thanksgiving one day a year. It's because it's garbage. I could eat prime rib every other week. Thanksgiving, one day a year. Get it out of my face. My mom does a great job cooking Thanksgiving, so don't be hating on what I'm eating. I don't cook it. I sit around and watch football while people cook for me on Thanksgiving.
I'm embarrassed for everybody who had to listen to that.
This just turned into a Bragg Spaces, which, by the way, there will be a great one coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm sure.
I normally save my Thanksgiving hot take for Thanksgiving, but it got busted out, because Baldy brought up Thanksgiving game. Sorry.
All right.
By the way, we got Ray Scarpelli coming up in about 10 minutes. He's in studio today, but before we get there, we got to check into Hallis Hall with things that actually matter. We're just going to delete the last 5 minutes of Bragg's shitting on Thanksgiving. Well, that was a weird way to phrase that. Nick?
Shitting on Thanksgiving.
Hey, Nick.
I did.
What's up, you guys? I can't believe anyone would shit on Thanksgiving, but that's disappointing to hear, Rags.
Nick, your Pins and Aces jacket is 700 times better than the jacket Braggs is wearing.
I can't really see it from here, but yeah, this is a pretty sweet jacket. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Well, if
All
you
right.
Okay, go ahead. Nope, go ahead. I'm done
Thank you.
talking. I'm not going to talk ever again.
You promise? Nick, what's going on at Hallis Hall?
Yeah, so we got to hear from the coordinators today. So I know you guys are pressed for time, so we'll get right into it. Luke Getsy was asked about Taysom Bagent. Before I get into all the Justin Fields talk, just asked, what did you make of his day? And he thought he played really well, managed the game. And here's where it gets a little interesting, because he said, we knew going into this game, you guys, against the Saints, that they needed to use Taysom Bagent's legs, and they had to be a part of the equation. And he did a great job, he thought, finding those escape routes and did a good job of extending those things and playing on the move. The second half of that game, you guys, it seemed like that was taken out of the equation. Just Taysom Bagent extending plays, getting outside the pocket. And I asked Luke Getsy, why was Tyson asked to play more for the pocket in the second half? Did the Saints do anything defensively? And he said they did a really good job with all their line games and movements, kind of keeping him in the pocket. And then he said, when you get in those moments in the game, you're more of a passing situation. It was a one-score game, you guys. It never got out of hand to where you only had to pass the ball. But he said that, the Saints were just mixing some things up, rushing 5, doing their games, dropping 8. And he said that Tyson can ultimately learn from this. I just thought that when you look back at some of the play calls, there weren't even the designs to get outside the pocket in the first place. It was just play from the pocket, see what happens, and you look back, all 4 turnovers for Tyson Bagent all happened when he was in the pocket.
Which is weird because it felt like in the first half they were getting him out of the pocket. And he had some nice first downs with his legs. Had some nice throws on the move. So, again, the adjustments thing we talked about the other day, why adjust that way when it clearly wasn't working?
Maybe it's because he's on the field and he can't see what's going on and nobody's relaying him the information. What do you think about that theory, Nick?
Actually, Mark, that is so crazy that you brought that up because I was thinking about that question. I know you wanted to ask Getsy that. I didn't get an opportunity to, but it's funny you bring it up now. I was kind of thinking along the same lines, not for that, but just to see his overall thoughts on being on the field or being in a booth. There's obviously pros and cons to both, but it's funny you bring it up now. You guys, real quickly, there was a bunch of questions asked about Justin Fields, and I'll kind of relay what was said today, but from Getsy. He was asked, how much can you actually evaluate Fields' ability to throw the ball when you're really only practicing on Wednesday? And he said it'll come down to really Fields, the training staff, Flus, Ryan, to figure those things out. And he said in this moment, he's kind of out of the conversation from his perspective. And I thought that was interesting. The offensive coordinator doesn't have any say in who's going to be the quarterback for this Thursday game, which I thought was pretty interesting in itself. But whether it is Fields or Bagent playing, Luke Getsy was asked, are there concurrent game plans? Do these guys have the same thing? And he said, what's cool is that since the very beginning, you guys, going all the way back, he feels like that the different game plan, there's not different game plans by any means. So whether they go in one direction with Fields or Tyson Bagent, they should be on the same page of what they're being asked to do, and it's not going to be too different from one another. So
does that make
I
any
thought that
sense?
was also pretty interesting.
Yes, it does. Okay, so let me talk. Yeah.
You talk through that, Coach.
No. Because yes, the similarities between Fields and Bagent are much greater than what they used to have with Trevor Siemian being the backup, or when it was, I thought, really drastic when Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky were the 2 quarterbacks, right? Those were 2 different offenses. With what they have now, they can still run their offense, okay? Now, what I would say, to put this in an analogy, is a restaurant is going to have different specials on the menu on Monday compared to what they have on Tuesday. But the restaurant's still the same. The general menu is the same. But you're going to have different packages, couple different third down calls, couple different goal line calls. There's probably going to be more quarterback run in there if Fields is playing. Maybe not this week because of the hand, but I get what Getsy's saying there, Nick, in that there's not this huge drastic problem where they almost have to, if they, let's say hypothetically right now they don't know who's playing. My guess is they do. Mm-hmm. But maybe Fields' game time decision this week. That could put you in a bind sometimes where you might actually have 2 call sheets actually printed out and ready to go for the game. I don't think they need to do that this week. I think they can run mostly the same stuff.
I don't
want to
get
a great analogy, too.
Yeah, well, Nick, this is your segment, so I don't want to fight with Hoge right now, and I probably don't want to fight with him even when you're not here. But to me, I'm
not gonna do it, but
I'm gonna do it. That's correct. Right. To me,
let's go.
To me, Bagent's strength is to get the ball and get it out as quick as possible. Whereas Fields' strength is I have a strong arm, I can move and make incredible plays. I need to see a guy is open and then fire it to him. So to me, they're borderline completely different. I get that Bagent can move; he's not a stature like that, but we just go back to the last time we saw Fields, the first play of the game, the ball's not coming out. That's not what he does well. He needs to. I just don't. I would hope that it would be more different than what he's laying out. Maybe it is.
Yeah, and I think, obviously Fields has the strength to throw downfield, and we kind of seen at times where Tyson Bagent, it's not really the case. There have been throws that he's made, but I think it's how you sequence the plays too. You're not going to maybe want to put those plays where he has to get the ball out quicker, like in the first 15, right? Where the Bears have actually been pretty good at game planning that. So I think it is a little different how they would want to start games if you know who exactly is going to be starting.
I mean, to me, the biggest difference is how the defense plays you. And with Fields on the field, you got to spy him. You got to be worried about that. With Bagent, you don't. And actually, I think the Bears could be running more QB run with Bagent, to be honest, than they have. Velus Jones conversation. I did see some tweets that Richard Hightower, the special teams coordinator, said that face mask penalty just can't happen. Give us a little bit more clarity. You were there. What did he say about that? Has there been conversation about Velus Jones this week? What do you feel like the vibe is right now with the Bears, with the leash the Bears are going to be giving Velus Jones at this point?
Yeah, I mean, look, Richard Hightower said it's an unacceptable penalty, especially because of where it happened, so far from the ball. He credited Gill with the great punt, being backed up in his own end zone, and then you have that penalty. Called it unacceptable. It was a very honest and true moment from Richard Hightower, very soft-spoken, as we all kind of known Richard Hightower to be, but he was really displeased with that call from Velus Jones Jr. And I think just overall this season, right? We haven't seen now in year 2 Velus make really a big impact on this team, and we know it's not coming from as a wide receiver, and then you're putting him on special teams to be a gunner to go down there and possibly make plays, and you're getting flagged for a penalty that shouldn't have happened in the first place. So I don't think the vibes are very good around a guy like Velus Jones Jr. Very, I think, uncertain for his future moving forward here. And we already know that he's not really a part of the game plan. Whether it's a screen pass, and we saw one of those in the Saints game where it was unsuccessful, the blocking wasn't there, and it was going to a drop ball anyway. But it doesn't seem like there's any really positives from Velus Jones Jr. going on right now. But Richard Hightower is also, he was disappointed in obviously Cairo Santos' missed field goal, but he said the operation there wasn't very clean. And anytime there's a missed field goal, it's not just on Cairo Santos, it's on the 3 guys, Gill, and obviously Patrick Scales. So he said the operation on that wasn't clean. And you guys, I think it was the beginning of the third quarter, Travis Homer had an opportunity to block a punt where the punter for the Saints kind of did that rugby college side where you kind of go off to the side, and he said that was a big opportunity, and that Travis Homer is really disappointed in himself that he couldn't make that play. And he had a really good demonstration where you need to go low and shoot your hands at the last minute. And if he would have done that, we're probably talking about a huge play that the Bears special teams didn't execute on. And Adam, I know if you were here, you would have really appreciated that conversation.
Yep. And tell Richard I'm sorry I missed his press conference today. It hurt. I don't like missing coordinator day. What he's talking about is when you're coming from the angle he was coming at, you want to kind of put your hands off to the side low, and it's almost like a flyby block. You can't come across there, and you can't go right into him. So you got to do this, and you got to want the football. You have to want to block it, that's the one thing about blocking kicks. It does not feel good. So you got to want to do it, just like a hockey player. I don't think they want to jump in front of the puck, but they do it anyway because they have to.
I missed in Nick's whole explanation there. He did not. So he left out the part that Travis Homer is soft and doesn't have the guts to do it.
Wow.
Whoa.
No, the problem that Travis Homer had, he was running up with his hands up. So it wasn't. I think more so that he lost momentum because he's tried to put his hands just straight up as opposed to that low, like what Adam's just kind of demonstrating there. So the coaching point, you have to go low, put your hands down so you don't lose momentum. You call it revolutions as you're trying to go and block the punt.
So I missed it again. What he didn't say is that he knows he's playing on a terrible football team that's not going to make the playoffs, so he didn't give full effort because he's thinking about his future.
Wow.
Yes.
Me guy.
Yep.
Me guy.
It's a me guy. Homer's a me guy.
Get
him on my team.
Nick, go back to the locker room. Tell Homer that Carm says he's a soft me guy. I mean, I don't agree, but just tell him what Carm's saying.
Don't do that. I've seen him. He's terrifying.
He's big. He's got big biceps. Yeah. So I'll tell him
we
that.
don't need that.
That's Carm. That's Carm right there.
We don't need that. All right. Hey, Nick.
I love you the way you are.
It just happened. Hey, Nick.
Travis, none of the rest of us said that. That is Mark Carman. You can follow him on Twitter @thecarm for more takes like that.
Travis, you're going to be great in a Titans uniform next year. Hey, Nick, let me ask you something, Nick. You underlined the Lucas Patrick fall down. Unlike me, I never did that. You loved seeing Lucas Patrick fall down. That humored you in your day. But as Tevin Jenkins was pancaking people, will you be talking to Lucas today or tomorrow if you're there? I think you are going to be there about that particular play. And you've done some good work on the offensive line. Is my bigger question. What did you learn rewatching it?
Tevin Jenkins has just been dominant, you guys. I love watching him play, how he finished his blocks. Luke Getsy talked about, just his play today. And, he's a guy that if you're looking for positives on this offensive line, I think Darnell Wright has obviously shown that as well. But Tevin Jenkins, if you run to that side, you are getting lanes created. You're going to get a guy that's finishing, that's getting up to second level. But, yeah, it was funny just watching that play. And, actually Kyle Long responded also on the play there saying that, sometimes you got to land the plane. It didn't take off quite right. But, you think he actually ended up helping Tevin Jenkins to kind of complete the pancake because he was in the way there. So it ended up working out on that play for Foreman, Jenkins, and Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, Kyle Long responded to your tweet, said the aircraft lost lift, stalled.
That was amazing.
And had to emergency land. All heavy payload pilots fear this. This pilot here does a good job of getting the bird back to the ground. He tagged Lucas Patrick in it and said credit him with the assist on the pancake because he did kind of – and really when I watched it, I think he basically got tripped up with the D lineman, but the D lineman got tripped up too, and that helped Jenkins pancake him. So good stuff, Nick. Appreciate it. We'll be reading everything at allchgo.com, following you on Twitter at Nicholas Moriano.
Adios.
There he is. Gregory.
I didn't ask Nick one question. I just sat here like eye candy. I didn't need to ask.
Not
him.
how you sat there.
I'm just completely
the next
worthless.
time you do,
there's no reason for me to be here today.
The next time you do ask him a question, I'm sure you'll clip it and put it on social media.
Oh my God, this guy! Two clips.
Hey, you made the thumbnail today. You did a phenomenal job. Don't sit here and say you. There's no need for you to be here.
That's true. I did make the thumbnail.
You're so proud of the
keeps
thumbnail.
taking shots. I was talking to my mom earlier. He's like, "Oh, Greg's just making clips of himself."
Nobody amuses me the way I amuse me. That's really, it's
that's
a shame.
pretty obvious.
I made Carm a clip. I made him a clip.
He made one
God
clip.
damn.
Nick, did you have lunch today? 60 seconds, CHGO Bears.
I put that one on my own account. Thank you.
Okay.
God dang, man. You're all over me. And everybody in the chat that's appreciating a nice jacket like I got here, thank you.
Look, let's be honest. I like the jacket. I don't like the logo.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm glad that we're getting there today.
I'm jealous that your team's better than mine. I'm jealous that your basketball team's better than mine. I don't really consider Notre Dame to really be your team.
I've given up on college football. Notre Dame's never won
that team's probably better
championship.
than my team, too.
And let's be honest, if I took the time to learn how to do the clips that Braggs did, all I would do is just clip myself out.
Oh,
Thank
my
you,
God.
me guy.
Yeah, me guy.
Thank you, me guy.
And here's another one. Look at this brilliant comment by me. Here's another brilliant comment by me.
We are clipping your weird, random, stray shots at Travis Homer and tagging him.
Yeah,
We
that'd
are
be a
not-
good
we are-
idea.
we are-
I don't know what that was all about.
and I
of
do.
everyone to throw your Bears eggs at
Travis,
Travis Homer?
Carm's right, because anytime I know he's going to say something that's going to get him in a lot of trouble, I'm like, we should clip this. I just lean into that harder for Carm.
Travis
I'm
knows.
his friend.
Travis knows that I'm kidding. Travis knows that he's.
he won't know when we clip the other thing and not this.
Yeah.
Travis knows. Travis and I, we've never talked, but somehow I feel like we're boys. All right, Hoge, lead us to the promised land. Race here.
Okay. I don't know if this actually is still true.
Let's get a super chat in here. 999. Well, I guess Carm can't always have the worst takes every day. Brags from the top ropes with his Thanksgiving take. Also, the Cubs hire feels a lot like Billy Donovan. How's that?
All right, relax on Craig Counsell. But you know what? I'm sorry, guys. It's the cold, hard truth. I'd rather have a nicely cooked steak, medium rare,
You're definitely an idiot.
than a
but
turkey.
That's fine. You're already.
Mushy
Well, that's a
stuffing,
different take.
yams. It's all disgusting.
All right. Wait,
So I'm
okay.
sorry, but I'll save all the Thanksgiving, hatred for Thanksgiving. That's
gonna
normally when
say.
I bust all that out. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Let Ray come in.
What?
I know you're going to sit there and do a CIRCA read or
Why do
some
I got to
transition.
do this? I'm not on the CIRCA read. Do I got?
yeah,
But
nah,
we
do
can talk
something.
about the event coming up. I'm excited to talk about that. But then as soon as
Yeah.
Ray comes on, I'm running to my
Yeah.
car because, as I told Hoge, I'm hunting 18 holes today. And he
That's
thought
gonna
that
go
was a
play
weird
golf.
statement.
Well, I've never heard of that. I'm hunting 18 holes.
I'm going.
What?
Yeah. Ray's coming on. I'm going golfing. Goodbye.
All right, later. See you, buddy.
Jesus.
Don't worry about it.
I wish I had Greg's life.
I mean, I called him this morning at 9 o'clock. Dude sounded like it was 4 a.m. What's going on? I'm taking a nap. Got Jenny off to school. I've never heard anybody that tired.
All right. CIRCA, for the love of God. We have a great event coming up with CIRCA. First of all, a little bit about CIRCA. They are here in Illinois. They are here to stay, baby. They have tight money line splits. They strive to have a -110 split on their CIRCA Sports menu. Unlike other sportsbook, they're going to charge you more, -115, -120. CIRCA Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets. They do not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. And CIRCA's, they encourage you to download and explore all sports betting apps available. Compare the lines. You'll see CIRCA has the best. And the customer service is top-notch. They have real people behind the CIRCA Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main CIRCA Sportsbook at CIRCA Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Just an incredible place. Download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for CIRCA events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, text GAMB to 833-234, or visit AreYouReallyWinning.com.
Eric Bochanton in the chat says, Braggs, before you leave, Carman needs to know when the tailgate starts. Officially, the tailgate starts at 2 p.m. here this Thursday. Tickets still available if you go to allchgo.com and hit the events tab. We'll be at the corner of Wabash and Cermak. It is our last tailgate, but it's going to be a special one, ladies and gentlemen. And if you come to the tailgate, you can RSVP to come over to our live event that we're going to have at Joe's on Wheat Street with our guys over at CIRCA Sports and Brian Urlacher, Hall of Fame linebacker, going to be in attendance as well. So this is a big event that we're putting together here for Thursday night football against the Carolina Panthers. A big game, maybe the biggest game of the season for the Chicago Bears.
Super Bowl. Got to have it.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that. If you become a diehard, you can get a discount on that event, as we've said many times here on this show. So excited for all of that. But, yes, 2 o'clock is when the tailgate starts at the corner of Wabash and Cermak with our guys at the Chicago Bears Tailgating Club.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If you become a diehard, you get a free hat. Is that not true? We have hats.
Yeah, we do have hats.
Got a lot going on.
We'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that. That'll be our transition.
Free
to get
hat,
him off.
free shirt,
Great idea.
discount on shirts.
Braggs, read this super chat real fast.
Bear Down Omaha, $2 super chat. Doesn't seem like enough money to read this super chat, but he says, F them Cubs. Other cheer for the blue collar team, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Listen, bro.
Yeah. Bricklayers.
Guys in the bleachers, we are blue collar. Thank you very much.
What?
Bleacher Jeff.
You are.
Danny Rocket.
You are, as
Cody
somebody,
Del Mendo.
Okay, as somebody who grew up in Lincoln Park, I could promise you.
Don't talk to me, you
70% of the people-
Northwestern elitists.
Okay,
We're blue collar. It's a misconception.
You
there
could-
are no blue collar fans at the Sox Stadium because nobody's at the Sox Stadium. There are blue collar fans at Wrigley. There are also, the snobby ones, but they sit behind home plate. I sit in the bleachers.
The bleachers is not what you want to be advocating for as far as blue collar. That is 25.
It's $75 these days.
18 to 30, overpaying to go out there and hang out with your friends and get drunk. It's not blue collar. You might be blue collar, kind of, although you have a pool and a podcast and 3 podcasts.
And a cul-de-sac with parking.
And a cul-de-sac with parking, so you've left the blue collar world. By the way,
and he's hunting 18 holes.
if you want,
He's going
hunting 18
golfing
holes.
on a
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon on a short
I
week.
have become somewhat corporate. I'm sorry, I'm not a bricklayer anymore. I drive past these guys working on the highway, and I'm just like, bye. I'm going to golf.
Oh, man.
okay.
Sorry,
Don't get me
guys.
started on the people working on the highway.
All right.
Anytime
I
you
feel
actually wanna
bad.
get
I mean, I
Kennedy
see
done.
them. I'm like, it used to be me, and now I'm gone.
Good effort by you. All right. Hey, if you want tickets to Wrigley to be a blue-collar Cub fan or anywhere else, there you go. That's right. Game Time. Use our code CHGO. You get $20 off your first purchase. Look, Game Time is the fastest and easiest and best way to buy tickets for sports and music and comedy and theater and anything that you want. Do it with Game Time. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, the views from your seat, best price guarantee, which is sweet. You find a better price on one of those other sorry-ass apps, Game Time will hook you up with they'll match the price. And by the way, you can handle that. Okay, great. I'll just continue with my Game Time. Great. I'm focused. I'm
so
ready.
ADD.
You're ADD.
Yo, I am.
Yeah.
So I can
look.
Lawrence and I are communicating in sign language right now. It's nothing to do with you.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. I'm serious right now. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the code CHGO. $20 off your first purchase. You can go to Bulls Suns tomorrow night and meet me and Greg's best friend from Germany. Who am I meeting?
Nick,
I know Nick.
Yeah, and Adam
You know
knows
Nick, too.
Nick Verha from Germany. Good dude in town.
Big fan of the show. I'm going to meet Nick Verha tomorrow night. You could come too. Let's all meet at the Goose Island Bar at the United Center. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with the CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
All right, and one more. We got Olipop, a new kind of soda. We love Olipop. Gut health is important. Olipop, it takes care of your gut health. It at least helps. 2 out of 3 Americans say they suffer from digestive issues, and 95% of Americans don't get the daily recommended amount of fiber. Olipop is tackling both of these issues with a drink that tastes just like pop. One way to fix your gut is with fiber. Prebiotic fiber is the food source for the beneficial probiotic bacteria in your gut, and Olipop has 9 grams of prebiotics in every can. Olipop uses functional ingredients that combine the benefits of prebiotics, plant fiber, and botanicals to support your microbiome and benefit digestive health. 90% of Americans consume more than the USDA's daily recommended added sugar intake, and sweetened beverages like soda are the leading source of added sugars in the American diet. Olipop much, much lower in sugar than conventional soda, with only 2 to 5 grams of sugar from natural sources, and it actually tastes like pop. All kinds of flavors. Get your regular vintage cola, root beer, orange squeeze, classic grape, strawberry vanilla, cream soda, cherry cola. They got it all. They're so confident you're going to love their product. They offer a 100% money-back guarantee on orders placed through their website. Use code CHGO20 for 20% off your next Olipop order at drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country, including Jewel, Walmart, Target, and Whole Foods.
That Jules. Before we kick Braggs out of here, Brant threw us $5 to say Braggs working on the side of the highway isn't blue collar.
Well, okay, I don't. Whatever you define it as, people that work hard.
He means the inmates that are cleaning up the trash on the side.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the joke. I'm glad you guys are on the same page.
Thanks, Brant. And guys,
Getting weirder.
We're gonna say goodbye to Braggs with this. CHGO hats are here. Go
Bye,
buy 'em.
Braggs.
Go
We'll miss
buy
you.
them.
Golfing time.
We got 4 styles in stock.
I want the. I feel like I'm playing the hat game right here, where I'm trying to find which one has the ball under it. I'm gonna go with number 3.
I'm debating between. We've got we got a trucker hat and we've got just a standard snapback. I'm going with one of those. Hey Jim, get him in there. Quit talking to him. Get him out there.
Yeah.
Okay, here
Chop,
comes
Ray.
Ray.
Get on in here, buddy.
It's Ray.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good
It's
to see you.
Ray.
I like every one of those hats, but I think the gray one is like with the black.
It's white. It's white.
Oh, it's white, even better. Love that look.
Ray, get that right in front of your face for me. Appreciate you.
Right up here. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, there you go.
You
Braggs is clean.
It can bend here too, like in the see where this little little joint
Ray, this is Ray. You're in. You want to, in essence,
Hey, it's Ray.
get. You want to get to know the microphone. You want to feel comfortable with.
So like right here.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
perfect. There it
you
is.
go. Ray Scarpelli from Ray Auto Group, one of our awesome partners here at CSGO.
Did
We
Brant?
wanted to have him in studio so we get to know him even better. What were you gonna say?
I raised here, but I can't believe that we just got a $199 super chat on a Tuesday from Brant Gosnell. $199.
Brant Gosnell, $199.99 to say Braggs' time on the side was work crew.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He spent $200 to say that
He really wants to take a shot at Braggs
went
today.
to prison.
That's awesome. Thank you, Brant.
You're the man,
best.
Brant. Thanks for supporting the show. We appreciate it. Now I can go to lunch today, maybe even tomorrow.
And you get none of that money.
You know, inflation these days is significant. Ray, good to see you.
Good to see you guys, man. Glad to be here, man. The studio is awesome, man. Loving it.
Yeah, thanks.
Loving it.
It's first time you've been in here, I believe. And
Yes.
All right, we're going to get some fantasy football talk because you are a fantasy expert here at CHGO. But we also want to talk about the dealership a little bit and some of the things you have going on. I know you mentioned a dine and drive event.
Yes. And I believe Carm is actually going to go to it as well.
I am.
It is tonight
It's
from
tonight?
6 to 8. It's tonight. It is tonight from 6 to 8. We're going to
I
have
have
actually
an outside shot, Ray. Outside, very outside, but outside.
Yes. We're gonna have a few EVs there. We're gonna have a Blazer EV. We're gonna have a Wrangler PHEV there, a Grand Cherokee PHEV as well. So it's designed to get everybody familiar with electric cars, right? Have some food, ask some questions, just kind of figure out, the differences between level 1, level 2, level 3, because the automobile business is changing, right? So it's an opportunity for everybody to get familiar with EVs, and actually the Chicago Auto Show shared our event as well. So we're expecting a big turnout tonight for the event. We're excited.
That's awesome.
By the way, if you're on the fence about EVs, plug-in hybrids, which is the
PHEV.
PHEV.
Got to learn all these new terms now.
Yeah, no, but that's I didn't even know that until I came in the dealership, and I was debating between the plug-in hybrid version of the Grand Cherokee or the one that had the third row. I ended up going third row with the kids. But plug-in hybrids are sweet.
Hoge Mansion, third row. That makes sense.
It's called having children.
No. It's called you're riding around in style. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Third row. I love that concept, by the way. I've got kids. I need a third row. How have people survived in the history of this world with a regular car?
Yeah, I know. I used to sit on the back of a 280Z.
Yeah.
And there was
Like
not
the
even
station
a seat.
wagon?
Not even a seat. I was just holding on to a little.
Remember those station wagons that would have the 2 seats in the trunk?
The way back.
Yeah, the way back.
I mean, was there anything less safe than that?
No, but it was
I think what I was doing, but that was
great.
That was the 80s.
I'm proud of you.
What was your first car?
My first car was a Chevy Equinox in high school.
Okay.
That was my first car. Now I have I've got a Camaro.
I mean, he's Ray. He's not riding around in an 82 Ford Fairmont
I
like
asked
I
him
was
what
doing.
his first car was.
Yeah,
Hit it up in the chat. First cars, Dodge Aries, 1986 model, something like that.
I had a beautiful brown 82 Ford Fairmont. This was in 1993.
Feel free to throw in the first car you ever did.
Bench
that
seating.
too.
Put my own little Alpine radio in it. It was probably the most expensive part of the car.
You were driving in 93?
In 93, I was driving, yes.
Of course, he was driving in '93.
I'm old.
He's
I'm like
old
Carm.
like me.
You were way older than I thought you were. Not you. I knew you were old.
I was driving in. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. All right, Torian, rocking that Chevy hatchback. All right, that's it.
Geoprism.
Let's go. Yes.
Well, the other big thing you guys got coming up is the Toys for Tots.
Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
December 3rd. We're one of the largest collectors for Toys for Tots in the state of Illinois. We're expecting over 500 Jeeps at our dealerships. So the idea behind it is, everybody brings a toy. You could register to win a Jeep Wrangler there. And we go on a ride with all the toys and drop them off at the Marriott Theater in Lincolnshire. So it'll be awesome.
So
Nice.
a couple years ago, I was
That's
up in
right next door to me.
Yep.
But keep going.
I was up in Fox Lake a couple years ago, and all of a sudden, all these Jeeps decked out in Christmas lights, all types of things. I was like, what the hell is this? And that's what it was. It's this awesome event that you guys got.
Yeah, we're really proud to get behind it. I mean, it's Toys for Tots, right? I mean, especially during the holidays, with our dealerships, we're really community focused with everything that we do. So it was an easy cause for us to get behind.
Ray, will you address Eli Sherman in the chat? $1.99. Carm's first car was a Bronco the horse. That's rude, Eli.
Is he wrong?
Yes, he's wrong. I said 19.
Yeah, he had a pony.
Wait,
He's more of a pony guy.
Hoge's dad's in the chat with his 1962 Rambler American convertible. That's amazing.
Yeah. He had a 65 Mustang convertible, too.
Of course he did.
Don't sleep on Papa Hoge. He knows his cars.
Rocking that Mustang, huh?
Yeah. Until a few years ago. He had it up until a few years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Chevy segment, but
It's the Ray Auto Group.
That's right. I'm sure there's a used Mustang somewhere on.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
A couple used Mustangs. We actually got a yellow one.
There you
That's
go.
a hot look.
So there you go. There you go.
They're serving all kinds of cars. We're just how did the dealership get going? I know you've had this thing through a few generations.
Few generations. My grandfather Ray actually started it. So I'm Ray the third. So when we're at family parties and somebody says, "Hey Ray, you got 3 different people turning around, including my dad." So it's just one of those things where here my grandpa actually grew up here in the city. He got a shot with Jim Moran, who it's for those of a certain generation. Jim Moran, the courtesy man. He was the first car dealer on TV actually in the country. And
Carm, you remember that, right?
I love that he's bringing this stuff up because these people are like straight royalty. Moran, Rohrman, who am I leaving?
Solozzi and Edelson.
Solozzi, Edelson. Yep. I mean, seriously, these are Chicago. Yeah. This is like Chicago royalty. Here, keep going.
Mm-hmm. And so he was a salesman for him. Eventually, got promoted to a manager there, and then, there was an opportunity in Antioch to become a partner. And he took that opportunity and moved out to Antioch, which, if you guys are familiar with that area, it's like right at the border of Wisconsin. So kind of a little different than the city,
Carmel played at Antioch Saturday. We had our playoff game there. Yep. Dealership right across the street.
Yep.
Actually, they made an announcement that you guys are donating a car to like a graduate.
Yes.
Or something, which I thought was really cool. They announced that before the game. I'm like, okay, Ray, let's go.
Yeah.
But Carmel got the dub, so sorry about that to Antioch.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
It's all right. Puff that chest out. Let's go.
Anyway, Antioch, yes.
Yeah. So, and then eventually my father and my uncle got into the business, and now me, I've been with the company now for 10 years. So it's one of our big things is, again, community. That's why we partnered up with you guys. Good community. Our raised price promise, we really believe in good citizenship and doing business with good people. Like our reputation and our word is the most important thing to our dealerships.
Yeah, well, and I know we do the reads for you guys. We talk about the raised price promise, but I should also emphasize, like, before I ever knew Ray or anything, the first car I got from you guys was the Silverado I had. I didn't know anybody there. I walked in there. You guys, everything we talk about in these ads are exactly what you guys did. I was blown away by the lease price you guys actually gave on the Silverado, which was lower than what was advertised, which we talk about in the ad sometimes. You can't promise that, but sometimes it's there. But you do promise that you're never going to raise the price on people when they come in. That is real. I just want to emphasize that.
And not every dealership is like that. You know what I mean? They'll put out, sometimes a price that not everybody can get. And so one of our big things, especially in this online world, right? I mean, you see the lowest price and you're just like, okay, I got to go there. But that's not always the case. So for us, and what makes our brand strong and our reputation strong, and like I mentioned, it's a multi-generational business, is like, hey, I grew up in this community. Hey, I've sold a lot of cars to friends. My father and grandfather oftentimes have sold vehicles to, their kids and their kids' kids. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where, hey, we're in the community. It means a lot to us. And so that's really part of our brand. Relationships, ultimately.
That's a big deal, too. Selling a car to a friend, 5 seconds later, something's going wrong, he's calling you up, he wants to kill you.
Exactly.
That's business and pleasure, business and friendship. It can get complicated, so I love that.
Ray also, big fantasy football guy, which is why he's a fantasy football expert. I did something this year that I violated a long-standing rule of my own, which is to avoid Bears players. And some of it was last year, someone in our league dropped Justin Fields when he was struggling early, and it was the biggest pickup of the year.
It was.
Because Fields ended up being top 7.
Guy in our league won doing that.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, Bears still might not be good, but now they got DJ Moore. I drafted DJ Moore. Last pick I think I used on Jaylon Johnson. I'm 1-7. Or I think 1-8 officially now in my fantasy league after being in the championship.
I'm 8-1, opposite of you.
There you go. So the point is, don't listen to me. Listen to Ray. And you do have your I guess we'll do the trades first. He also has this.
Whatever. Either way.
I want everybody here
to
to grade these trades.
Because trade deadlines are coming up. So, like, I know the trade deadline in our league, I think, is this week. So
ours is December 1st.
Okay.
So
it's coming up. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not this week. I stopped paying attention.
I think this is the first one, yes?
Yeah, we can go here. So Ray came up with these are real trade proposals in your league?
These are real trade proposals in our league. I'd love the viewers to grade these trades. I'm sure some of you are probably wondering, like, hey, what's this guy's roster construction? Does it make sense? Here, let's see. Alvin Kamara and Dalton Schultz for Jones, Thielen, and Thomas. Without knowing the roster construction first, what would you guys grade this trade? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it somewhere in between?
I would actually be tempted to disagree with the recommendation here. And I actually think it's more even than it looks.
I take the bottom half if I'm picking here.
So you would take Kamara and Schultz?
Yes.
Okay. So to give you an idea, Michael Thomas in this league went to waivers and then was immediately picked up for $25 because we've got the Fab, right, where you do the auctions, and then proceeded to immediately get 0 points this weekend. So, here, and then, of course, Schultz goes off, right? Looks like Gronkowski on Sunday, right? He puts up like over 20 points, and then Kamara's probably rest of season a top 5 back.
Right.
Realistically.
That's why I was like, I like the Kamara side.
The Kamara side. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this trade obviously ended up getting turned down.
Yeah.
What does people in the chat have to say about that one? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I don't.
Someone said I think it's fair.
I actually think it's just more fair than it looked at first glance. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So let's look at the next one.
Trade only works if the other team has
there's
injuries. Here's another one for you.
2 more. Ramondre Stevenson, Deontay Johnson, who I feel like has done nothing for 2 years. Oh, he finally got that first touchdown on Thursday night. For Derrick Henry. This would be a no for me. I got to keep Henry.
I'm not rolling the dice there either.
Yeah, I'm out.
I would agree. It's a no from me as well on that trade.
But yeah, okay. It's been an interesting year for Derrick Henry.
But like Ramondre Stevenson started off really slow. Has he picked it up recently?
He had a good game on Sunday. He put up about 17 points, so decent game for him.
The Patriots suck, though. Like, is their running game going to be doing anything? I guess they can't throw the ball, that's for sure.
And here's the last one we're going to show you, too. Devontae Adams, again, Ramondre Stevenson in there, and Deontay Johnson. This time it's for Jamar Chase and David Montgomery.
The injured David Montgomery.
Well, now Jamar Chase is injured, too.
Yeah.
But this would have been before we knew that, right?
This was actually David Montgomery was injured at the time of this trade. So essentially, really you're looking at it as, because Deontay's a part of that package, right? So it's Devontae and Ramondre for Chase and Montgomery, right? Like there's two injured players in a 3 for 2.
Aiden O'Connell's getting game balls, and the Raiders are looking all healthy, so I'd be tempted. I'd say it like that. That's a pretty big leap, though.
Yep, I would agree.
All right, now the next thing is, and Rockstar 80 says fantasy football rule number 1: no New England running backs. I followed that one for a long time too.
Yeah, when they had their committee, you had who was it? Dion. You had who was that other guy? They had a few of them that were kind of.
Well, that's the thing, you don't remember them because it's always like a committee. And Damian Harris.
Damian Harris was one.
Yeah. So All right. Now, the one thing you want to pay attention if you're trying to set your lineups for this upcoming week, Ray has been spot on when he's been coming on the show telling you who to be starting. And he does have his top 5 starts for this week.
All right.
Law, do we have that?
No.
I guess not. Okay.
What do we have? What am I missing?
His top 5 starts for this week. I got them ready for you, though.
Sorry about that.
Let's see. Where did we put those? I know because you texted these to me last night. Okay, so I know you had quarterback Jared Goff.
Yes.
What do you like about
Jared
Goff?
I mean, here, the Chargers had a really good defense, right, on Monday, so you might be nervous to start them, but I think with that Detroit offense, I mean, here, you got Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got a lot of really good pieces on offense there. You got their running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, so I think they're going to put up a lot of points against that Chargers D.
It's funny that you brought up Goff because I saw him moving through the chat today. People are just still Bears fans don't want to give the Lions any credit. They don't want to give Jared Goff any credit, even though Jared Goff's been a pretty damn good quarterback the last.
Oh yeah,
he's running that offense, no questions. All right, running back Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, I think here against the Raiders, I mean here they just got a new coach, right? But I mean their run defense is horrible. So I think Breece Hall is a smash start.
And then DK Metcalf at wide receiver.
DK Metcalf, I mean, here, he's, again, I think a trade for candidate, actually, DK. I think he's going to have a really good rest of season. I think right now, I mean, here you got that rookie, Jackson Smith-Njigba, right, JSN. Mm-hmm. You got him. You got Tyler Lockett. So I think he's kind of been lost amongst those guys. But I think he's a trade for candidate. I think he's going to have a smash game.
And then at tight end, Dalton Schultz.
I mean, I think you got to keep rolling with that Texans offense. I mean, C.J. Stroud probably had one of the best rookie performances by a quarterback of all time. And I think just you got to stay in the flames with him, man.
I've had Tank Dell on my bench. I might have to actually play him.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes.
I wish I had last week, obviously.
I'm eliminated. Can't play anyone.
Oh, you got guillotined.
I got guillotined. Came to an end. I really did some dumb things. And Bijan died on me, and it's just the way it is.
Bijan's done nothing really in the last month, it seems like. Your sleeper for this week is, he likes Cowboys defense, and then your sleeper is?
Keaton Mitchell. 100% add him in your league right now. I just submitted a bid on him this morning. I think the Ravens are going towards almost like a run-first offense. I think their wide receivers that they've got going are just okay, that core, right? I mean, you've got Bateman, you've got Beckham, and the rookie Zay Flowers, and I just think that they're just leaning on the run game right now.
Fair.
Love it. All right. I'm just going through the notes here. What was the biggest draft steal, in your opinion?
I mean, I'm a little biased. The league kind of makes fun of me for this because, I always talk about my players on here. Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I picked him up. I
go
think
Hawks. Let's go.
Someone in our league dropped him week 2, and I picked him up, and it saved me because I don't even remember who my tight end was before. It was Njoku. Who's been in Njoku?
Yeah. Is he coming to press conferences wearing masks?
Yeah.
It's always an interesting choice.
Laporta saving me. Not really saving me because I'm still 1-8, but yeah. So
you're 1-8. You got one.
I know you're a big Cubs fan too, Craig Counsell.
Here, it was funny. I was just talking with these guys earlier. I've got a friend who I've talked to, big Cardinals fan, right? And I'm actually 14-0 against him for about 10 years. I've gone to Busch Stadium a few times. He's come up here to Wrigley, and he always made fun of David Ross. I liked David Ross. And this move came as a huge shock to me. I thought that, Ross did well with the roster that he was given. But if he was going to be let go, for Counsell, I'm in.
Yeah.
I think he's a top 3 manager in the game right now. I think that this is a move where the Cubs are announcing, hey, we're here again. And I think that they're going to have an amazing offseason just outside of this managerial hire. I think they're going to make some trades. They got one of the best farm systems in baseball right now. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction on the show. We'll see if it ends up happening, but I think they make a trade for Pete Alonso. I think that's going to be their splashy move that they're going to do.
There we go.
I'm not sure if I can co-sign on an Alonso trade, but I'm willing to hear what the price would be. And I mean, you're up north, man. You got Brewers fans, I bet that.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's an interesting.
They're not happy. Trust
they are
me.
not
they
happy.
Are,
No,
and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think what fascinates me the most about this move too is just like the Brewers really have done a ton with a shoestring budget, right? I mean, in terms of their payroll. And I think Council got a lot out of these guys. I think that now with a different ownership group, a different fan base, a different whole everything, I think he's going to do even more. And you kind of weaken a rival in the process with this move.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Their owner's talking all sorts of nonsense, dude. Craig left our community. Yeah, he did. He came to a better community. Welcome to Chicago. Let's go.
That's not nice.
It's a pedestrian community up there. We've got a better community.
Milwaukee's underrated.
I like Milwaukee. Ain't Chicago.
Oh, that's obviously true. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Just know, what you should be saying, Mark, up there is like, look, he wanted to go to the Cubs. We get it. Wrigley is the Mecca, and Chicago's a sweeter city, and we're just trying to survive up here. And we'll do the best we can. But Craig made a great decision for himself, and my franchise stinks. That's what he should have said.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
Ray, we're going to give you the super chat experience here as we conclude this show today. You can hang around for this. So there's a bunch of random stuff from the show that people are paying to jump in. £5 sterling.
Boom. Wow, look at you.
You got an international audience here.
Yeah.
Said his first car was a Ford Fiesta, which has been discontinued.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Bye-bye Ford Fiesta.
I don't remember the Fiesta.
They're basically like a lot of car companies right now are just making SUVs and trucks now. I mean, Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, like a lot of the domestic brands are really just making trucks and SUVs right now, and
just
that's
what people
kind
need.
of where the market's going.
The normal layperson needs a pickup truck. That's what I think.
I love my truck.
It's ridiculous.
Truck's the way to go.
Yeah. Do you work on a construction site? No.
T-Fly Shy to Long Beach. It's $20. What's up, T-Fly? Are Bears fans delusional? We're finally on to something. Keep Flus and JF1. Trade the fans, except the real ones. The Bears will be the worst thing.
Bears will be fine.
The Bears will be fine. The worst thing we could do is trade JF1 and fire the head coach. It'll set us back 8 years. No foundation. T-Fly Shy, that is the most optimistic Flus Fields take that I have ever seen, so congratulations. Seriously.
Okay.
I mean,
we'll see about that.
8 years setback if they do that. Wow. That's got to be a Flus cousin. Mob O'Brien, $5. Every time Poles makes a move, we love it, except keeping Bayless and drafting Dex. Keep Dex out of this, Mob. That's not fair.
He hasn't done anything.
He's done. He was the second highest graded rookie in the Pro Football Focus a couple of weeks ago, Adam.
And then he proceeded to not.
I think
play
he's got to
the rest.
earn his playing time more. I think he's been given a lot of opportunities, and I think there's guys that deserve more playing time than him.
Carman, if they had a legitimate 3 technique, those defensive ends would be getting home.
Okay. Look, the guy's on the field for 12 snaps. Let's not make it out like
Why was he only on the field for 14 snaps?
Because they're leaning into Billings and Justin Jones, and Matt Eberflus thinks that they can win games that way, and Matt Eberflus is making a calculated wrong decision because he should be playing his rookies regardless if they're productive. Let's see more. Don't go at Jervon Dexter yet. Come on, man. Senior's a good dude.
Jacob Murphy, $4.99. Carman interviewed Dex one time. He had a live show with him.
That's correct.
So he's going to defend him until he's on the Raiders. Jacob Murphy, $4.99. Should we keep JF1 for another year? I know the wins are a problem, but the flashes of greatness, oh my God, I don't want us to inherit The Babe Ruth curse.
He followed that up with another one.
What if Justin Fields is on the Packers next year?
Did you just compare Justin Fields to Babe Ruth? That's amazing. Keep going, $4.99.
Bagent has been good. You're going to throw picks as a rookie. I just think JF1 gives us the best shot. Bears defense plays a huge role in his win-loss record. Absolutely. What else we got here? Esteban, $5. Bummer the trade got turned down. The guy in the middle, whose name I don't know,
Mark Carman. Alex
doesn't
is the middle name.
Doesn't this guy always do that? Isn't this his
that's
bit?
his
He
thing.
knows your name. He just pretends he doesn't.
Whatever. Esteban.
You would probably trade Christian McCaffrey for Bagent.
I'm not trading Bagent for Christian McCaffrey. We got Bagent on a rookie deal.
In fantasy football.
You sleep on. We're talking fantasy. My bad. Esteban, you know what the M stands for? You probably know, and I don't know. But at any rate, Esteban, that's fine. You wanna go at me for Bagent? Feel free. I'm sticking by 17. Damn it.
Last one from Cody here. $49, almost $50, $49.99.
Thank you, Cody.
The defensive tackle from the Ravens, Baldy was talking about, is a free agent next year. He needs to be our 3 technique. There you go.
Do you know what he's talking about?
I don't remember his name. Baldy was talking about him earlier.
Oh, okay. Ray, do you know what he's talking about? Honestly, Ray, your football knowledge is overwhelming. I don't know how do you have any time to sell any cars with the way you're breaking down NFL rosters?
For me, I look at our dealership is like a football team. You have to have the right guys in the right positions. It's a team game. That's probably why, at least on an individual basis, why I'm into sports. I look at our business as a team game, and that's why I like football.
I love that.
Must be Michael Pierce he was talking about, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember that part. But we'll keep him on the list.
Whatever Baldy said, it was right because he's Baldy and he's the man.
Right. The only thing I would say is the Ravens run a 3-4, so they'd have to watch that a little bit closer to see what.
Doesn't matter. We'll have a new
and again,
defense
maybe the
next
Bears
year.
will run a 3-4 next year. Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows? Ray, it's good having you in here.
Here, guys, thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it. This is cool. I've never done this before, so it was interesting, man. It was fun.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
And for real, pay attention to the Jeeps on the Run, jeepsontherun.com. What's the Facebook page, too, for you guys?
So it's just like the name, Jeeps on the Run. You can join the group. It's free to join. We've got over 10,000 people in that group. Any Jeep can join. Okay, you don't have to have a Wrangler. If you got a Compass, you've got an old Cherokee, doesn't matter. All Jeeps are welcome. And then our after party that we're having, you don't have to have a Jeep to join the after party. We got a band there. It's going to be really fun, and it's for Toys for Tots, right? It's a charity that just about everybody can get behind. So here at the dealership, we're super proud of that.
All right. Super cool event. It's coming up, and just a great cause as well. So everything you guys are doing in the community is outstanding.
6 to 8 tonight. I'll be there at 7:23.
That's very specific. For Michael Jordan?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? I'm ballparking the time, and then have a good 47 minutes. Then I got to get out, and then a big 9:00 tennis match tonight, Hoge, on the back draw.
Of course you do. The thought of me playing tennis right now is painful. Just to even imagine it.
Big win by you yesterday over Herb Howard on the ping pong table. Congratulations.
I had to go full Nicholas Moriano strategy and not move and just let Herb make mistakes.
Herb choked.
Yeah. You said it, not me. Kevin Carlson, $20. Where are we going to party before the Thursday night game? Bears 47, Panthers 4. Wow. Two
Joe's
safeties.
on Weed Street.
Joe's on Weed Street. Kevin, come on.
Oh, no.
Or
That's
come to the tailgate.
during the game. The tailgate before the
tailgate
game.
First.
Justin Matabuke, by the way, is the super chat. Thank you, Cody. Knight didn't have to spend $20 for that, but we greatly appreciate it.
Drop in the bucket for Cody. We appreciate it.
The tailgate, though, before the game, if you buy a ticket to the tailgate, even if you're not going to the actual game, it gets you into our watch party at Joe's on Weed Street. Brian Urlacher is going to be there. It's going to be a great time. Our pre- and post game coming from Joe's on Weed Thursday night. Should be a lot of fun. Tomorrow is what would be a normal Friday preview show. Will and Nick will take you into the game with a big breakdown tomorrow right here at noon on CHGO.
At noon?
At noon.
At noon.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we might change. I forgot about that.
Did we? We never actually said anything.
It might be at 11. Keep an eye on that. We might have to do that at 11 tomorrow. We will keep you posted on that show coming up tomorrow.
Keep it at noon.
Okay. And then
I like it at noon.
and then pregame coming up on Thursday. Any final thoughts there, Carm?
I'm just looking forward to seeing hopefully some people out on Thursday. And hey, message to Flus and the training staff: don't put Justin out there until he's 100%. He's too valuable. Be smart with it. We can wait until the Lions game and let him go in 10 days if
Flus,
need be.
I have a much different take. I'd like to be entertained. I want to see Justin Fields play Thursday night.
I hate what you just said, and I don't want to end the show on that, but I think we should.
Ray, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to everyone tomorrow. CHGO. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.